how can small everyday changes in our lives help us move toward sustainability? So I think that's the only way to really move, because the radical changes rarely stick. I mean, you might turn around and dime and say, all right, I'm going full 180. I'm full consumer today, and tomorrow I'm full zero waste. But you try that for a day or two. It's like crash diets. They hardly work, right? And so when we're talking about sustainability, that's really what we're talking about, these small changes, right?
Absolutely. And I think we underestimate the wildfire nature of it. You know, when you make a small change, then your partner might, and your children, the people that you're teaching how to live and interact in the world, your community. And that multiplied, the idea of these small changes multiplied creates massive changes in our ecosystem and our society. So being able to enact those small changes that you can in a more excellent, permanent way is much more effective than reaching for something that's just, you know, so far out of your wheelhouse.
That is so true. Man, when Mariah and we were in Tokyo, like everything is so immaculate. Like everything is so clean. It's like 5 New York cities, but like just scrubbed clean.
39 million people.
It's unbelievable. But like, because you're in that environment, it's like when I'm walking down the street and there's a piece of trash on the ground, like it actually motivates me to like pick up the trash. I don't know who threw it down. It doesn't matter. But I'm like, oh, like this city's so beautiful. Like I want to help keep it that way. So it totally rubs off and can create that wildfire effect.
You know about the broken window theory? So in 90s New York City, like they were working on fixing it up and making neighborhoods nicer. And then Pete Buttigieg did this in South Bend over the last decade, where we realized, like, if there's a window that's broken or a piece of trash that's on the ground, we can do one of two things. We can either fix that, or it's going to lead to more broken windows. Right. And what we realized through urban planning and urbanists who have studied this, they realized, like, oh, if we fix the one window, all of a sudden other buildings nearby start fixing what they have going on. The areas that we don't fix, though, they start to get graffiti. In fact, Buttigieg had this thing in South Bend. They had a 24-hour graffiti removal. So they had a hotline you call, and if there's graffiti, any time of day will go, and they have someone to go remove that graffiti, because that graffiti leads to more graffiti, and there's a quick downward spiral to. Sure. But you also realize, like, if you're a graffiti artist and you know that it's going to get taken down within 24 hours,
it's
man,
like demotivating.
Right. I'm going to go to the next town over.
Yeah, Banksy probably isn't going to go to South Bend to put up his art.
Yeah, and the downside is most graffiti artists aren't Banksy, right? They're actually.
Right.
By the way, here's the thing: like, most landlords would love for you to put a Banksy on their building, right?
The value of their property,
right? But they also, like, they don't want a random graffiti artist to come by and vandalize, because that's what most graffiti is. And so I think the same can be true just with our everyday lives. We have our own sort of broken windows, whether it's the pajamas in the morning or it is, that's an incremental change. We're talking about putting on regular pants instead of pajamas. That's an incremental change. But as you said, it starts to spread like wildfire. You realize, like, oh, I'm making some of these changes, and it doesn't just spread in my own life. Other people start to notice. The reason this whole minimalism thing worked for me and Ryan is because he came to me one day and he said, "Why the hell are you so happy?" He saw the sort of the fire blazing, and he was like, "Oh, hey, tell me more about this thing."
Exactly. Yeah, I think it raises the collective consciousness, and the example of Japan is so wonderful because that's how culture actually is changed. And once culture is changed, you can change policy, you can change, everything kind of stems from that. And then really big radical changes on a systemic level can happen. But it starts at the individual level. How am I acting in my own life, in my own family, in my own community? And us all taking responsibility for that.